Hello, this is Katja from withmyhandstream.com. Today I'm talking about my cover stitch machine. It's Cover Pro 2000 CPX and I've had it for over a year. First thing to do is to show you how to thread it. So basically Cover Pro is like a sewing machine. So you have one thread below and the other threads are above. So we don't have loopers like in the serger. So you take this thread, put it through these 3 loops here, and then pull this so you can then through here and through here like this. Then the topmost threads go. Oh, look at this! Just escaped. Put it. Okay. So we have to put the right pressure foot in. So this was for my binding attachment, but this is the see-through plastic pressure foot that I like. Okay, now let's start with the middle needle. So this is just like the sewing machine. Here you have to choose the right slot. And here's a little tip. So if you cut your thread, cut it in an angle. So that makes it much easier to put it through the hole in the needle. Okay. This is a little bit annoying. This. Okay, and now the second needle. Like this. Okay, now my needle thread sign, and I can use these to pull this other thread around. Oops! Except that I have to put it in place like this. I still didn't get it. It's a little bit more annoying than with the sewing machine because there are more. Okay, now I got it here. I can put it up like this, and now we have our Cover Pro ready to be used. Let's try it out with some leftover binding so that it works. Let's adjust the stitch length a bit because previously I used binding attachment. Yes, it looks nice. Then, how do you remove your work? This is a little bit difficult. It's not, you have to pull a bit and then your work is stuck. So you turn the needles, turn the wheel towards yourself and then back, and you hold tightly to the needles and the threads, and then you take the needles up. You have to do it sometimes twice, and then you can get the threads free, and you will have these loops And if you pull those loops out, it pulls all the threads to the wrong side of your work, and then you can knot them, because if you don't do this, your work might unravel, so that wouldn't be nice. Okay, now we are ready and we can start sewing. Here's the dress I'm making, and we are going to finish the hem of the dress. I've already ironed it, so I have about approximately 2 centimeter fold, and that's why I have this green sticker in here. So the green sticker tells me basically where my edge needs to be so that my needles catch the fold. So because I have to stitch this without seeing the wrong side. Okay, just slide the work in, like so. I have to pull slightly because my edge is a little bit curved. By the way, the beginning of the stitching doesn't unravel, so I can clip the threads before getting there. So, I'm ready. Now let's do the trick. Pull it back. Hold the threads, release the threads, pull it back, cut the threads, and then we'll find the loops here, and we'll pull the threads to the wrong side. And then we only need to do knots. And what I usually like to do is I take a needle, a thick one. Let's see where I find some. I take a needle with a large hole. Actually, it's called eye, a large eye. And I'll slide the needle in, and I use it to pull all the threads inside the seam. So that's the way to sort of finish the edge so that it doesn't unravel and it looks nice. So this is how it looks like from the wrong side. I could have stitched a little bit closer to the edge at some places, but I can as well trim the extra fabric off to make it look a little bit more professional. You just have to be careful not to cut your threads. And anyway, it's on the wrong side, so it doesn't really show. But the other side looks like this. Very nice. Just a little bit ironing and it's really great looking edge. And now we can do the same. Finish up the sleeves. And then we have a dress that is ready to be worn. And this is the binding attachment that you can buy for it, and it's fastened with one screw, and then you can pop this little peg underneath to the other screw hole so it stays in place, and you can position it using these two screws here. You have to cut a strip of binding that is longer than the edge you want to finish, and my binding attachment makes a four-fold bind, so it basically folds this once and then it folds the edges like this. So this will be the finished binding. So how you do this? Put it the wrong way around and start sliding it in. You have to make sure that your binding has the right width. So for my attachment it has to be 32 millimeters wide, and you can use some tool to help to slide it in like this. It's a little bit tricky, but it goes along like this, and then you can take it off, and then you can pull it, and it goes like it should be, like this. You pull it a little bit more, and then you can slide it under your presser foot like this. You have to use a shorter presser foot for this binding attachment because the normal presser foot is too long. Okay, then at this edge you can put the binding like this, so it stays straight and you don't have to worry about it, hopefully. Okay, then it's very important to test your binding and your material so that the stitch length is right and you don't get any skip stitches. So take a scrap piece of fabric and try it out before you finish your neckline edge or whatever you are going to use the binding for. Okay, so let's start sewing. So make sure this is loose so it doesn't pull too much. And here you can see the nice binding it makes, like this, and the wrong side looks like this. So it looks really professional and nice. And you can use this for neckline edges and for sleeve finishing, or well, pocket edges might be really good looking with this, and well, whatever you want basically. I'm ready to start finishing the neckline of this dress I'm making. Okay, so oops. So here is the finished dress. You can see the neckline and the hems I made using my cover stitch machine. I think that my daughter will really love this dress. In the next video I will show how to attach one of these sequin patches to a t-shirt or a dress. So come back to this channel. Bye!